I love encouraging people because there's so many people that have half the talent you have and half the ability for transformations, charging way more than you're charging and just going for it because you're still stuck. You're still sitting back being like, oh, I wish I coulda, shoulda. Oh, I want to do this, but I'm not. I mean, would-haves kill more dreams than anything in life, right? So what I want to encourage you to do today is take messy action, but I also want you to get rid of the plan B. What if this doesn't work out? What if it does? That's where I want you to stay. But what if it does? Always change everything to a positive. Because you know what? So you might lose it all. I just did. Look at me. I'm not dead, right? You're going to get up. You're going to be stronger, better, more perseverant, more wisdom, more revelation, more understanding, more clarity. And what if it's the best thing that ever happened to you? Have you ever thought about that? Welcome to For His Glory CEO, the podcast for high-achieving women like you who have built the business, hit the milestone, checked all the boxes, yet deep down something still feels off. The success is there, but you know God has so much more. I'm your host, Allie. If you're hungry for results rooted in the Word, this is for you. Let's get this party started. Hey friends, welcome back. OM greatness. So I told you that I was going to do a 3-part revenue, retention, referrals, podcast episodes. I'm like, I've never done a whole series. And guess what? Lean in. We're not going to. I was like, what? Why am I going to do a series when there's something so burning on me to share with you guys? And it just happened. And that's what the beauty of a podcast is, that you can literally be like, okay, people need to hear this. Because if one person is feeling this way, so many other people are feeling this way. And if I know what I know to help you get out of this, I'm going to do it. So maybe I'll do a series. Maybe I won't. Maybe we double down on that in the coming weeks. I don't even know. But here's the fun thing, friends. You can always pivot. You can always change directions at all times. That's the coolest thing. You never need to stay stuck. And you always, always, always want to be relevant. And if you know that someone is struggling, you ready for this? Friends, I want to share something that I've actually never shared before, but it's been so transformational for multiple 6- and 7-figure businesswomen that I would be remiss not to share it with you. So I want you to picture this. You're in a room with 10 other women who are running payroll, running teams, making heavy, high-stake decisions, and managing everything. And imagine you bringing your question or your bottleneck to that group of women. Do you think that you can handle things which used to maybe take you months, maybe years, in the next 10 minutes? What I found is a lot of us playing at this field, we don't struggle with lack of strategy, motivation, even discipline. We struggle with not having a sounding board in real time with ideal clients and women who truly get the level we're playing at. And that's why I created the Inner Circle for multiple 6- and 7-figure women to play in. It is the community of communities that offers transformations like I've never seen report. And you know what the number one receipt is? We had 100% retention of those clients from 2025 rejoin us for 2026. It's a private, exclusive group and extremely selective as well. But if this sounds like this is exactly what you need, grab the Inner Circle application in the show notes and we'll let you know if you're a great fit. All right, back to the show. They're struggling because they have a mentality that they don't have to do the thing that they're being asked to do. Is that you? Or are you the person that says, oh, there's no plan B? Two separate camps of women. There's going to be women that are like, well, I don't know. I think I could do this. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to do this. Is this my calling? I'm not sure it's my calling. Did I hear God right? I'm not sure. And then there's these other women like Martha, who I just interviewed for our podcast. And guess what? I don't know where the recording went. It literally was the most amazing podcast. And in Jesus' name, we're going to find it. And now it says there is no recording of it. So I decided, you know what? I am pivoting. I'm not going to do this episode on this 3-part series on revenue, retention, and relationships. I'm going to double down on telling you no plan B mentality. And I promise you, this episode is for those that don't think they're good enough, or they don't think that they're able to do what God's called them to do. And they have all this fear and all this imposter syndrome and what if is verse There's no plan B. This is it. It's going to be, it's got to be me. That's the difference of women who actually scale something so profound. But you know what's true? Everything's figure outable. And I just want this podcast itself and this whole episode itself to encourage you to say, why not me? What limiting beliefs do I have that I need to squash like a bug to get out of my mindset, to get out of the way for me to fully come to do what God's asked me to do in this season? And is it going to be from garage to 8 figures? Probably not. Let's be honest. Those are kind of a dime a dozen, but why not you? Why not you grab a hold of something and realize, you know what? I'm going to put myself in front of the right people this week for me to help more people to build my business. You know, a business really means like that you are doing sales every single day. We should be having sales in our business every single day. We should be helping enough people, sharing our products or our service with enough people that there's sales daily happening in our business. But what happens? People get stuck in their own noggin. They have stinking thinking. So then when they go out to go sell, they're like, I don't even know what I do. Actually, I don't even know what I can provide for you. Versus the people that have the no plan B mentality who get practice up, fall on their face, get back up, fall on their face, get up faster, fall on their face, get up faster, stronger, better, and realizing every setback is just a setup. It's such a mental game when you come to business. It's a mental game of what you tell yourselves. And last episode, I talked about the crown, right? Wearing your crown. And that's capture every thought, renew it with truth, own your attitude, walk it out in aligned action, and it's a new standard. What used to be hard for you now becomes easy because it's a new standard that you're holding yourself to. Guys, this is the most beautiful, brilliant thing. We get to reinvent ourselves all the time. Like, I can't think of anything more fun. You don't ever have to stay stuck. Like, I lost an entire business and I'm very open, raw, real, transparent. If you follow me on social media or on this podcast, like, it has not all been daisies and roses and flowers and unicorns and rainbow sparkles. No, there has been a lot of heartache and hardships and things that you're just like, are you serious? Kind of happening, right? Betrayals, things that like fall through and people say things and all the stuff. And like, you can have 2 decisions. One, you become a victim to it. Woe is me, look at her, she's always doing better. Comparison is a thief of joy, right? Or 2, say, that setback was a divine setup for me. And you know what? I'm going to get rid of my stinking thinking. I'm going to capture my thoughts. I'm going to renew my mind. I'm going to own my attitude. I'm going to walk out aligned action and actually do what I say I'm going to do, right? Are you acting like it? When people say, I want to be a 7-figure earner, I want to have 100K months, I want to X, Y, Z. I'm like, great. Are you acting like it? Are you putting yourself in front of the right people this week? Do you have your weekly KPIs of how many leads you're going to reach out to, how many offers you're going to make, how many referrals you're going to connect? The high achieving women do. And that might be the difference between you and them. They literally are so laser focused and have such discipline in their life because we all have the same 24 hours in a day to actually do what they say they're going to do. So I want to encourage you. If you're not where you want to be in your business right now, why not? Why not? If you're not talking to enough people or if you're not making enough offers, that's just a numbers problem, right? So up it. Pretend there is no plan B. Pretend that you need to go all in on what you're building and there's no backing out. It hits different. The energy is different. The trust that people have in you, they're like, wow, she's serious about this, right? That's one thing I've heard so much about building the inner circle. They're like, oh my gosh, girl, you're killing it. Like, this is amazing. You lost everything and you transitioned so quickly and you built this. Why was that successful? Because I built like I already had a successful second business when I had nothing. I showed up every single day like a 7-figure earner, even when I was not there at all. I did not have a plan B mentality. I knew this is it. This is all. I'm going all in. And then that contagiousness, what is sales? Sales is the transference of energy. Right? It's a transference of confidence. And people can tell whether you have it or you not, right? If you're passionate about something, you know, obviously you don't listen to this podcast and feel like, oh, wow, she's a wet blanket. You're like, whoa, she set my feet on fire. I'm going to go build something and I'm going to go run through a brick wall. Yes and amen. Was I always that way? Not really. Did I struggle with imposter syndrome, fear of man, people pleasing, all the things? Absolutely. What changed it for me? Knowing that I serve an audience of one. Knowing that God's my CEO, knowing that he's given me gifts and talents that it would be so selfish to sit back and not share that you have an answer to people's problems, that you would hinder people from getting to where they need to be because you had the solution all along, but you kept it from it. Think about this. Think about this. If someone's house is burning down, do you just sit back and be like, oh, it's burning? There's flames. Like, are you good? Like, it's not great in there. Or you're like, hey, here's a ladder. Get out of there. Your house is on fire. I'm here to help you. I know that's a pretty intense situation, but that's how I feel. When I see people so stuck in their own head or not around the right women to be able to pull them out into their greatness and do what they wanted to do, I'm like, hey, I got the ladder. Hey, I can help you. Hey, I see you, and I know exactly the bridge you need to get from where you are to where you want to be. Now, if I sat back and just like kept that to myself or a few fine folks, that's not going to be great. No. When you reach out to people, they can feel if you have the ladder and they know their house is on fire. People know it. They know they're stuck in business. They know that they can't build what they wanted to build. They know that they need someone that's already done it, that's already gone before them. But if you're not confident with that, and this comes from having the no plan B mentality, if you're not confident enough to say, hey, I got you, I see you, I got you, I got this, let's do this together, let's partner with God, let's see you move into a new realm, a new standard of what used to be hard becomes easy. That's the N in the crown. Next level growth. How do you get that next level growth? You go all in. I just did a funny reel where I just love being silly and I love being transparent and I love encouraging people because there's so many people that have half the talent you have and half the ability for transformations, charging way more than you're charging and just going for it because you're still stuck. You're still sitting back being like, oh, I wish I coulda, shoulda. Oh, I want to do this, but I'm not. I mean, would-haves kill more dreams than anything in life, right? So what I want to encourage you to do today is take messy action, but I also want you to get rid of the plan B. What if this doesn't work out? What if it does? That's where I want you to stay. But what if it does? Always change everything to a positive. Because you know what? So you might lose it all. I just did. Look at me. I'm not dead. Right? You're going to get up. You're going to be stronger, better, more perseverant, more wisdom, more revelation, more understanding, more clarity. And what if it's the best thing that ever happened to you? Have you ever thought about that? If you do lose it all, what if it's the absolute best gift you were ever given that you would never give yourself because you never would have left what you're doing? It is such a choice, friends. It's a choice every day. I was talking to a lady, we're renting her home for our inner circle retreat, which is my favorite things that we get to do and all stay under one roof. And it's hard because we're growing so much in the inner circle. But we found this gorgeous 11-bedroom estate in Rancho Santa Fe. And the woman, she's in great shape. She's amazing. And she was like, I was talking to my friend who's a surgeon, and he's like, you know what? Choose your hard. Working out, eating clean, and taking care of your body. Yeah, it's hard. But you know what else is hard? Disease and sickness, obesity, and not being able to move. And it's very true with business as well. Choose your hard. Reaching out to people, putting yourself in very uncomfortable stages and places and asking for referrals and asking for the sale. Yeah, it can be hard, but you know what else is hard? Not doing the business, staying broke, staying stuck, not allowing yourselves to really take a chance on you, right? My friends, Katie Wood and Erin O'Connor, I love you girls. They wrote this book, Bet on You Mentality. Bet on you. And it's so brilliant. They really work with a lot of athletes. And it's true. You might not have anyone in your corner right now. You might have everyone thinking you're absolutely crazy. Awesome. Awesome. Let them. You know what? They're not paying your bills. Their opinions absolutely are not paying your mortgage. And why would you allow someone in the nosebleeds to tell you what you're doing when you're on the court? No thanks. I want the people that are on the court who've already won the game and got into the Hall of Fame, and I will take your wisdom and your revelations because what? You have proof behind what you did. And you know what? They're always going to call you crazy. The crazy ones, the wild ones, they always make history. But the ones that sit back and do mediocrity and worry about what everyone else thinks and sit in fear and have imposter syndrome and have all the things, they rarely do anything big. Think about that. Think about this. How costly is it to stay where you're at because you're worried about what other people are going to think? How costly is it to stay in something that you're burned out in, that you feel like you're in a lonely island, there's no support, there's no atta girls, and everyone just looks at you like cross-eyed, like, oh, yeah, she's a wild child. Why not get in around the right women at the right time who are going to speak into your life, pull out the gold, and look around and be like, yeah, I'm crazy too. Yeah, a bunch of crazy girls up in here doing big things. Those are the people that you want to surround yourself with, especially for such a time as this. Especially when boldness and godly confidence has never been more important in our lives. Because like I said, there's going to be a lot of shady business owners out there. There's going to be a lot of shady coaches. There's going to be a lot of shady service providers. We all know them. We all know the people that talk big game and they like have zero follow-up, zero receipts to show for it, zero proof. Yet they're charging as if they're like the queen bee. I know, I'm raw and real up in here, but let's think about it. Then there's you, the most amazing, authentic, genuine, trustworthy, kind, loving, brilliant, hardworking woman that's staying stuck and not going after their dreams and not living a life that they absolutely love waking up to because they're worried about what if it all goes away? What are people going to think? Who am I to do this? I still struggle with this. Fear, fear, fear. No mas, mamacita. No mas, sister girl. I'm not going to allow it. Why? Again, I talk to women and I've helped over 4,000 women build businesses from the ground up. And the number one thing I see, and it's exactly what I saw with my girlfriend Martha today, who trained inside my inner circle, it's this no plan B mentality. It is, I am going to do this thing and it's going to be hard, but that's okay. I can do hard things. You know, we've gotten a lot softer. I'm just going to go on it now. I'm just going to let it rip. So lean in. You ready for this? We've gotten so soft. We're like, when things get hard or resistance hit, we're like, oh, God's not in this. Nope, I must have missed it. Blah, blah, blah. We make all these excuses for ourselves when the sales aren't happening. Oh, you know what? I probably shouldn't even had this offer. I probably shouldn't even be selling this product, blah, blah, blah. Because the sales aren't there. No, that's not true. It just means you need to bootstrap a little more and get a little more diligent and build up a little more tenacity and grit and perseverance and endurance. Bible talks all about perseverance and endurance, and just say, hey, I can do hard things. It's not going to be handed to me, but what a blessing. What a great reward when we work hard for something and we achieve something, right? The Bible talks about it. Run your race. You know, we're going to achieve that crown, right? It's an eternal crown. How amazing is that? The Bible doesn't say, hey, when going gets tough, hey, if this is too hard for you, it's no big deal. Sit back and just sit on a couch. No, it talks about laziness. It talks about being idle, right? You don't want to be lazy. You don't want to be idle. You want to be all in. You want to take steps, even if you're crawling, even if it feels like a crawl someday. Take some kind of movement forward. And I promise you, in that movement, you're going to start seeing, if you're consistent over time, you're going to look back and be like, hey, girl, we're doing it. Wow. Look where I've come. 6 weeks ago, I would have never done what I did today, right? Or look at what I'm saying now. I would have never said this in front of people. That's the good stuff. And you know what? Movement is so important. And this is the hill I will die on as a D1 athlete. You know it to be true because I've moved my body since I've come out of the womb, and now I'm 46, and it's the number one high-performing habit I see in successful business women, and that's moving their body every single day. And at our Burn Boot Camp, it was athletic conditioning, and it brings me right back to like preseason, University of Minnesota, where you didn't train that hard over the summer. You decided to be a high school or a college kid, hang out with your friends, do the boats, all the kind of stuff. You weren't doing sprints and you weren't lifting as heavy as you should. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Those of you that can relate to those stories. And you show up and you're like, I'm gonna be killed. That's how I feel about Burn Boot Camp's athletic conditioning. I literally, and it was funny because one of the girls like, I just don't like this, like I'm gonna barf feeling. Like I don't like that at this stage in our life. But I said, yeah, but we're better because of it. We are. We're better because we pushed ourselves that much, built that much lactic acid where we felt like, oh my gosh, I feel sick. So what our coach said when she saw that we were all like dead and we still had a bunch of burpees to do, and she said, let this be the hardest thing you do today. Let this be the hardest thing you do today. And I thought, that will preach. I'm not going to work this hard in my Bible study. I'm not going to work this hard in my sales calls. I'm not going to work this hard in my podcast recording today. Like, that was such a powerful moment in that time to say, let this be the hardest thing you do today. I want to tell you, let this podcast be the hardest thing you might listen to, but then go do the hard thing. Always do the hard thing first. Always do the thing. If it's reach outs, if it's referrals, if it's asking for the sale, whatever the hard is for you, you start there every single day, consistently for a year. Baby girl, you watch where your business is. I promise you, if you do that hard work, that personal work, that identity work, that sales work, whatever it is that you need to do to double down, and you know exactly what it is. So whatever's coming up for you right now as you're listening to my voice, that's the thing. Don't overthink it. You double down on that and you do it first and you put it right there in first position where revenue in first position always lives, you will be unrecognizable in a year from now. And I will be cheering you on, girl. So proud of you. Do the hard work. Why not you? Why not now? Until next time. You've been tuning in to For His Glory CEO podcast, where unshakable faith meets bold business strategy to equip you for your next level. If this blessed you, please subscribe, leave a review, and share it. And if you're a businesswoman that's looking for the right circle to scale big, we got you. Click the show notes and hear more about our For His Glory CEO community, which is one of a kind, amazing. And remember, we're not just building businesses, we're building the kingdom of God. Until next time.